Albert Einstein once said that one definition, or a definition, of insanity is doing the same thing again and again, doing the same thing again and again, Good morning, my name's Andy Joseph, and I'd just like to say that I'm absolutely delighted to be here today to talk to you on InnerTalks 4. I'm from the UK. I'm 50 years old. I have a military background. I spent 24 years in the military, 19 years of which was as a military physical training instructor. Wind the clock forward to 2005. Wind the clock forward to 2005. I arrived in Dubai. I have a sports background. I've been into all sorts of sports. I've been into kickboxing, rugby. Been into lots of things. I'm also a group exercise instructor in various disciplines, and I'm also a personal trainer. But what I'd like to do today is share with you the one thing that has inspired me, the one thing that I enjoy the most in sports and physical stuff. I have been an indoor cycling instructor for the last 9 years. And it's something that I am very, very passionate about. I absolutely love it. I absolutely enjoy it, absolutely love it. It's a thing that I love doing the most. Now, the groundbreaking story that I would like to share with you today is the reason why I became a Real Rider Master Trainer in 2013. I was inspired by the creator of the Real Rider bike. The Real Rider bike is an unstationary bike, the world's only unstationary bike that moves from side to side. I was inspired by the creator. He was a man that revolutionized the indoor cycling industry. He was a man who dared to do things differently. Let me wind back the clock a little bit, a good few years. Let me introduce you to Colin Irvin. He's an American guy. He's a semi-professional cyclist. He's an all-round good guy, just like you and I. He's an all-round good guy. You'd like him. He comes from a place in the States, in the United States, called Vermont. Now, those of you that may or may not know, Vermont has very, very bad winters. You know what these cyclists are like. Okay, they're absolutely passionate about what they do. It's all about time in the saddle. It's all about being out on the road. They're absolutely passionate about what they do. He was no different. He wanted a way of training throughout the season, 12 months of the year, off-season included. Obviously, because he was in Vermont, winters are really bad. So we've got all the snow and the ice on the ground. Obviously, he couldn't train. He looked at a way to train indoors on the stationary bikes indoors. But unfortunately, those stationary bikes indoors don't have the range of movement or the correct cycling form that both Colin and other outside riders require. Obviously, this was a problem. Now, he could have sat back and thought to himself, well, okay, I'll just roll with it, I'll just relax, I'll just chill. But he didn't. He identified a problem and decided to take action to make a change. This brings me on to point number 1, my first point this morning. If you, us, identify that there's a change that needs to be made, either small or big, something's personal or important to us, then we need to take action to make that change. Going back to Colin. He identified that there was a problem. He identified the gap. He decided that he wanted to create an indoor cycling machine that was fit for purpose, along with his goal that was as close as possible to an outside ride. He set the goal and he made a plan to achieve it. Going back to Colin again. For well over a year, he slept, breathed, dreamt, 24/7, thinking about his project. How was he going to produce his creation? He spoke to outdoor cycling instructors. He spoke to fitness professionals. He spoke to lots of people to get an input into his creation. He used the 25 years of experience that he had, that he'd accumulated himself, to put into his project. Then finally, eventually, he was sat in his garage on the prototype. Imagine the scene now. He sat in his garage in the prototype, sat on the bike, looking at the mirror, and he's almost there. This brings me on to point number 2, second point this morning. If you what you need to do is set the goal and make a plan. You know where your end state is going to be. You know where you want to get to. You just need to make a plan as well to achieve that. Wind forward the clock to 2008. Colin, with his creation, has finally got to the point where he can't wait to present his creation to the public, to the general public. So he's in the States. The platform that he chose to use was the International Health and Racquet and Sports Club Association, Expo. Now, ladies and gents, this is not a small deal. This is not a small deal. This is not small cookies. This is a big deal. This is a big event, okay, involving thousands of people, both international that come to it. He knew he had a good product. He knew he had a good thing. He could not wait to unleash it to the public. After that show, how many orders do you think were taken for his bike? 0. Nothing. Nada. This went on for a long time. Many shows, many presentations, many opportunities to demonstrate the bike to the public. But again, 0, nothing, nada. Today, Colin's creation is number 1 in the US. It's also in 50 different countries worldwide, used by fitness professionals, indoor cycling, outdoor cycling enthusiasts, physios, participants. This brings me on to my final point today. Point number 3. Don't give up. Don't give up. Stay on track, stay online. You know where your end state is. You know what goal that you have to achieve. Okay? You may be deviated, but come back online. In the military, we used to have a saying, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. Something happens, knocks you off, come back online, continue to your goal. This was a man that achieved his goal. He did things differently, and he piloted what he believed in. In summary, identify a change and make that change. Set the goals and make a plan, and don't give up. Thank you.